Welcome back to Punk Rock Theologian. Today I'm actually talking about evil, because that's something we don't really talk about much anymore. But just like an enemy or a germs or virus or something, simply not paying attention to it or not being aware that it's there doesn't make you any safer from it. In fact, it puts you in greater danger. This is really just an extension of the last video, because when I was looking at the beginning of Isaiah 25 there, I noticed that the word ruthless appears 3 times in just a few verses. So I did what I do. I compared them on different translations, and they all say something like that. It's ruthless or wicked or violent. Comes from a Hebrew word aritz. It looks like that. Apologies if I didn't say it right. This is just the 100% might makes right. I'm stronger than you, so I will kill you and take what's yours because I said so. And that's what God is talking about delivering his people from. The point is, that's not like, oh, there's the good guys and the bad guys. It's by default, we are all the bad guys. This is how a human being is apart from God. That's why Psalm 54:3 says, "For strangers are attacking me. Violent people are trying to kill me. They care nothing for God." These violent, wicked people, this is the nature of a human apart from God. And we understand that. That is what survival of the fittest looks like. And in case you're wondering, this doesn't disappear when we get to the New Testament. The words there change because now it's Greek instead of Hebrew, and it's things like poneros or athosmos, which look like that, and again, I don't know if I'm saying them quite right. But what I find interesting is this shows up most frequently at the end of a letter. It's kind of a closing remarks, like 2 Thessalonians 3:2 says, "Pray too that we will be rescued from wicked and evil people, for not everyone is a believer." 2 Timothy 3:13 says, "Evil people and impostors will flourish. They'll deceive others and will themselves be deceived." 2 Peter 3:17 says, "So be on guard that you will not be carried away by the errors of these wicked people and lose your secure footing." These external threats are still a thing, and people were attacking the church, and that really hasn't stopped in 2,000 years. But what you'll find more focus on in the New Testament is not the evil that's out there, but it's the evil that's in here. That's a different word that I'm going to call kakos. You'll find it repeatedly in Romans 12, where first it says, "Never pay back evil with more evil," and then just a little bit later it says, "Don't let evil conquer you, but conquer evil by doing good." Frankly, that's the evil that I think we need to pay a lot more attention to. I think even Scripture bears this out, because you'll find far more examples and teaching and warnings against that kind of evil with that word kakos than with the other words that are talking about wicked, dangerous people. Too many people in the modern church look outside at like, oh, all those bad people, and act like they're the big problems and they're the threats and we need to keep our kids safe from those people. The bigger problem is the evil within yourself. And that's the one we don't get to point fingers at, because every single one of us has this. The problem is we no longer think that evil is real. We think things are all just like cultural differences, personal choices, maybe biology. But if you deny the sickness, the cure makes absolutely no sense. If we think of this in terms of like a brain tumor, the modern perspective on evil is like saying, well, I mean, that's just another part of your body and it's a totally natural thing. All you really need is like some body positivity coaching. We should probably teach other people who don't have tumors to respect people with tumors and to accept them for the things that are growing inside their brains. If you don't recognize that tumor as something that will kill you if you let it go, like trying to solve that, a brain surgeon, sounds completely barbaric. You mean there's this guy who wants to cut your head open and fish around inside your brain and carve part of it out? Oh, and not just any part, but that part that's special to you, the part like not everybody else has. He's gonna take that out because he thinks it shouldn't be there. My goodness, this sounds like a very intolerant person who just wants you to fit his model of what things should be like. But that's actually a person who is trying to save your life. The point is that Jesus is that surgeon. He wants to come in and to take out the part of you that is going to destroy you. It feels so natural to us because, like I said, we all default to evil. That's why Galatians 5:17 says the sinful nature wants to do evil, which is just the opposite of what the Spirit wants. It's the gravitational pull of living in this physical body. I think the main point in all of this is that it's a fight, and we need to recognize we're in a fight and be willing to put up that fight. That's why 2 Timothy 2:19 says the foundation of God's truth is that the Lord knows who are his, and all who belong to him must turn away from evil. We need to make that choice to fight, to turn away from evil and turn to him. Again, we understand that with a sickness. A cancer patient talks about fighting against cancer. They'll go through things that are miserable, like surgery and chemotherapy, to be able to deal with this sickness and try to have a chance to move on past it. We need to take the natural bent towards things pulling us away from God just as seriously. Frankly, more. The alternative is 2 Thessalonians 2:12 that says they will be condemned for enjoying evil rather than believing the truth. It's all about the choice that you're making. The gravitational pull of a human life is towards evil, but Jesus is drawing us as well. The decision of which direction you're going to face, which direction you're going to let yourself move, is the difference between life and death. It will be a fight, but it's worth it. Let him save your life.